Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Let me have a look and get the chat online, and I can see everyone here. Let me turn echo cancellation off. Okay, sound. Okay, good. So, who's here? Let me know who's here. Banksy NZ. Hey, man, how you doing? Or woman? I'm not really sure. Waiting for the magic to happen. It's happening now. And it's really good to be here, actually. I think the last time I did a live stream was 1st of November last year. Let me just get these in because I don't think the mic is working as I want it to. Let me just disable that. This could be, I can see myself. Never mind. Hey, Rob. Good to see you here. So, I'm Rahel. Lovely to see you. Actually, a couple of days ago where, to be honest, a little bit disheartened about what I was here, my channel was going, whether it's like actually reaching people and what they wanted to see. And I think I possibly lost my way a little bit just because what's been going on in the world over the last 9, 10 months. If you are in the UK, I'm really sorry that you've had to enter lockdown again. It's really, really difficult for you guys over there. Yeah, I'm not so happy about the sound. It's going in and out. Yeah. Uh, let's see if I can turn this off. Hmm. How's that? No, still not right. I'm still all over the. Let me just let's see if I can get. Yeah. All right. How's that? That's probably sounding a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Good. Glad to hear it. Right. I'm probably going to just turn these speakers over there, and I'm going to turn my speakers right down. There. Nope, still not right. Oh, I'm a little bit of a pain this morning. It's not done this before. Anyway, so I was wondering whether this is actually reaching people or not. And I'll give you a little bit of a rundown as to kind of what's happened with my channel. It grew from just under 1,000 subscriptions at the beginning of last year, so it's January 2020, and it's just at 4,000 subscriptions now, which is fantastic. It's just one measure. But one thing that I have noticed is that I'm getting a lot more chat and feedback and comments from my videos that I'm posting, which is fantastic. I love the conversation. And that's the thing that I value most, really, is really just connecting with everybody who is watching my videos and coming on these live streams as well. And the comments that I got back when I said I wasn't really sure whether I was going to continue or not have been really lovely and really, really motivating for me. So I just wanted to say how. Well, that's very, isn't it? Can you hear me? Hopefully you can. What a pain today. Okay. So yes, incredibly motivating to have all of you uh, listening and telling me what it is you want to hear. Thanks, Rob. I'm not sure, is it still going in and out now that I've settled on this? If not, I might have to flag this and do this another day. It's been pretty ridiculous. Um, let's try for a few more minutes and see what's going on. Uh, so yes, I am going to carry on. What you probably also need to know is that I've been writing a book whilst over the last 6 months. My day job is I'm actually a clinical psychologist, and I've been assisting the New Zealand government in their COVID response, particularly on how to look after people's well-being psychologically. So not just those people who are like deeply affected, but just the general population. How do you send those messages? How do you communicate with people? So I've got a new book coming out. It's coming out in about 2 weeks' time. It's called Steading, Keeping Calm in a World Gone Viral. It's available now on Amazon for pre-order. But with my head being really in that space and trying to keep up the videos whilst I've been doing it, it's felt kind of like more of a mission, I think, than it should have done. And so what has been what I'm looking forward to is probably in about 2 months' time, once the book has been launched and I've got all that kind of like first month of marketing done, I can really focus back down on this channel again. Um, hey, exploring the world. Missed the end of your message, but I'll keep watching. But I'll still be trying to keep up at least 1 or 2 videos a week. But they're probably going to be more at the, sort of like the 3 to 4. Oh, no worries, man. I'll catch up with you another time. I'll probably keeping them around about the 3 to 5 minute mark, and you'll start getting the longer videos from me again back in February, probably. So please bear with me whilst I've got these short videos going. But what I do enjoy doing is exploring new content. So, of course, you know me for the 360 content that I put out, especially the Go and now with the 1X2 and the 1R. But I tell you what, the DJI Mini 2 is fantastic. I've got a ton of footage that I want to put out on that. They've done quite well on my channel now. So just let me know if you're interested in that kind of footage as well. I guess I'm trying to grow my audience. So as well as kind of like serving what you want, I'm just trying to really reach out and grow that audience as well, and see if I can get other people interested in my channel. And I guess what you may also notice that I'm also talking about useful tech a little bit more now. So really, some of the feedback that I got was that there's people who are perhaps a little bit older who appreciate somebody a little bit older talking to them about tech, but also showing them how to use stuff. So not just doing product reviews, but actually basing 101 on how to get the best out of the stuff that you've got. So one of the things I am thinking about doing quite soon is starting, as well as this Apple Watch. So I started making some videos, and I think I so well. But what I am thinking about doing is I spent about 8 months pretty much sat at my desk, and I'm just starting to get back into physical fitness again. And I'm thinking about doing a sort of like a how-to on Apple Fitness. And as you can join me, just going through the basics of how to use Apple Fitness and how that might help you to improve your well-being and health, not in a kind of extreme way, but in a really easy to manage way. So I'm not sure if that's something you'd be interested in. I would be interested in hearing chat or on the replay. This on replay. Well, thank you for bearing with me with all that microphone stuff. I really don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, hopefully you'll see I am energized again, and I love these. I miss them. I keep forgetting to do them. I'm going to start doing them at least once a month. These are really, really great. So, question of the day. I am wondering, I'm taking my daughter out. My oldest daughter, with 3 young girls in the family, and my wife, Sarah, is away with the littlest ones. They met yesterday afternoon, and they booked their first camping experience. I'm stuck at home. I'm working for the next few days. Book marketing is unbelievably time-consuming. Plus, I wanted to do too. So I'll probably go camping with them. For next week, a 10-year-old for her first overnight hike. And I'm wondering what gear to take. Oh, I'm sorry. This is really not good. Let me just try to over to this mic again and seeing if that makes any difference. Let's try that. Uh, I'm wondering if this is going to make any difference instead. Let me put these away. No, now I can hear myself echoing, you see. Uh, so let's just turn that down, and hopefully you can hear that. All right. Right. So yes, going away hiking, and so I'll probably give her my either my Fimi or my GoPro Hero 7 to use herself because they're reliable. I've used them and they're not very complicated and they just do the job. The Hero 7 occasionally freezes up with overheating or it always runs really close to the processing capability or what's in the hardware of that camera. But my experience with the thank you, Paul. My experience with the um, One X2 recently has made me really nervous. I was zip lining. You may have noticed if you watched that Rotorua Canopy Tours video that I put out just a few days ago, and I said there that it just wasn't working. It got stuck in Steadicam mode, and I couldn't get it out of it. And then you'll have also seen in the other trip that I did all the kind of like weird jello, strange stitching that it was doing, and the sound is awful when I was taking it. It's really super quiet, and so I don't know whether it's kind of like an over aggressive wind and noise reduction that was going on. I tried switching modes; it didn't seem to really make much of a difference. But the danger is that it just kind of gets frozen up in particular modes. So this I'm not so sure about. I'm not so sure about so happy about the stitching. Let's get this back in focus. So the other thing that I was contemplating then was maybe taking the 1R. And that's I think would be a good solution. But again, the stitching, because of the fatness of the 1R, is something that I'm kind of like a little bit worried about too. So I've actually caught myself thinking maybe I should take the 1X with me. Because the good thing about the 1X is that you probably don't get all the bells and whistles, but I don't really use them that much, to be honest, all the special effects that you can get. I just want reliable video. And at the moment, the 1X, and Danny, if you're here, you reminded me that it's the 1X Go combination that I was using so much. Back in October, November, December 2019, when I was really getting my mojo, like 360 stuff, it was the Go and 1X combination that I was using. And I almost want to just take that with me because I just know it works. Now, I haven't tested the 1.09 firmware on the 1X2, so I'm going to try that in the next few days, just kind of zipping around locally and seeing what kind of footage I get. The problem is getting the time to review the footage, particularly processing it and then just getting to look at it. And I think that it feels like a little bit of a user experience barrier to me, and I hope that Insta360 can sort it out. And I really hope that they don't fall into more trouble. So I'm watching the Facebook group, and people are not so happy about what's going on there. So it's really, I'm going to be really interested to see what they do when they come back from Christmas holidays. Have you got any thoughts? What is it that you would do in this situation? Has anybody here got a 1X2? What's your experience been like with it? Do you have a 1R as well, or have you bought one ahead of the other? And what do you feel about your decision now? Or have you stuck with the 1X because that's what you thought works for you and it wasn't enough of an upgrade for you to consider doing anything else other than just continuing with your 1X? Let me know in the comments below if you're watching this on replay, and I'm really keen to hear what people have to say about that now. So we're going to be going out, probably about a 3-hour walk from the car park. It's a pretty well-used trail. We're not going to be by ourselves, but we do have booking for the hut for ourselves. So the nice thing I'm going to think about the Go is that I can just kind of like mount it and then just kind of put it on interval timer and just kind of watch us doing stuff in the hut. But I also know it's pretty dark in there as well. The windows aren't so great. So, no action camera is going to be fantastic in low light situations. So there's no real easy solution unless I take what I have got, which I haven't talked about so far, is the Sony ZV-1. And I bought that actually to film a few courses that I'm going to be putting up. Nothing to do with this psychology stuff. But I haven't really used that so much. And I've definitely not used it on this channel yet. And I'm still learning how to use it. I've used the Fujifilm system. And so learning how to use the menus, it's actually quite painful. It's not such an easy menu system to use. Hey, Paul, I'm glad you're the 1X2 and you're starting to learn how to use it. the danger is, isn't it? It's like, how do you how do you actually make these cameras sophisticated enough so that you can do cool things with them, but make the learning curve easy enough so that people can actually get into them quite quickly and start producing stuff. It can be really discouraging if it doesn't work, and you can feel like, this is just too hard. Yeah, Rob, I'm probably kind of with you on that. Um, and I can't be asked carrying many cameras. I already mix footage between the One X and the Go and the iPhone. Okay, so I think three different sources of footage for me to kind of like integrate when I'm editing is probably more than I want to be doing. I'm just kind of like a regular guy like you guys. I'm not a professional filmmaker. I don't have like 10 cameras where I will want them integrated on various different screens on my filmmaking software. I use LumaFusion on my iPad, which is extremely powerful, but it's not, Adobe Premiere Plus Pro, whatever it's called. Yeah, I can't be asked with trying to do that on my desktop. I want something that's usable. It's going to do 80% of the stuff that I want it to do. And so, really, 3 to 4 cameras is about as much as I want to do. 3 if I can get away with it. 2, maybe, and 1 would be ideal, which is why I end up shooting quite a lot on my iPhone 11 Pro Max, to be honest. So there's my dilemma. At the moment, I'm thinking One X Go, maybe put the One X2 in the bag, just in case, or if it rains or something like that, at least it's waterproof and I've got a solution there. But the Go is pretty good, and it's got me out of a hole as well with that waterproofness, tiny 10-second like stuff that it's got built in there. So that's probably where I am with that. What I want to do next, probably on the channel, is like I say, start to lengthen out my videos. I look at the most popular videos that I do. They tend to be the tip videos, and they tend to be the ones that are about 13, 14 minutes long, or even maybe 10 minutes long. Like the introductory one that I did for the DJI Mini 2 seems to really, really resonated with people. So you can probably expect to see a bit more of that from me. And I'm probably going to just try and diversify my content a little bit as well. So I'm not going to stop doing Insta360 stuff by no means, but I'm probably going to be chucking in a bit more stuff in there as well. But you can look forward to seeing Insta360 stuff at least once a fortnight on one of the cameras. All right, any questions whilst I'm here? You can ask me anything. I've got a few more book marketing things to do. I've done podcasts recently. I'm booked in tomorrow morning with a guy who I used to do a running podcast with when I was super into my running, and he got back in touch with me. The nicest thing that's happened is that I used to go to the library, like the public library. I don't know if you guys go to the public library. I used to go to the public library at least once a week. My dad used to take me every Friday after school. And the library system from where I grew up, so other side of the planet, contacted me overnight and said, we would love to do a Zoom interview with you early February to help people who are in lockdown in Hillingdon in West London. And I just jumped at that. I said, yeah, absolutely, would love to do that. So I've got a few things lined up. Which camera am I streaming on right now? Elstrick. This is the Logitech 4K Brio. It's okay. It kind of comes in and out with the focus. So it's seeking a little bit more than it usually does today. And I screwed it up. I put my hand in front of it, and now it can't find me. I'm here. I'm here. Here. No, that. Oh, it found me. There we go. So yes, it's autofocus. Doesn't really have a huge depth of field. It's got a mic built in, but I'm using this Apogee mic, which is also what I use for my videos when I'm in the studio. So a really basic studio is there behind me. That's the grey wall that I film against over there, and that's the light that I use. And you'd have noticed if you've been on my channel and following me for a while that I used to have a bookshelf over there. I took that out, and I've now got a solid grey wall where I can put text overlays up on there really easily, and they don't muck up, and you can easily see them. They don't have a bookshelf that they're against now. So yeah, that's the camera, and that's the mic that I'm using right now. And so yeah, that's all the stuff I've got coming up this week. And I've got a couple of videos coming up. One is me going to a spa experience with the One X2, but mainly with the iPhone. This is in Rotorua. I was up there
if you're ever in New Zealand, or if you're in New Zealand now, you need to come and have a look. Really, really lovely, relaxing place. But you'll see that the thumbnail is me going into the plunge pool, which is not particularly relaxing. It was very refreshing. I might have sworn a little bit on that video. And then I've got another one on the 6 best accessories that I think you should be getting for the One X2. And so if you've got one of these recently, have a look at that. It'll be out Monday. That will drop 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that, on Monday, New Zealand time. That seems to be the time when most of my audience is watching. Oh, I'll tell you about that actually. So about 24, 25% of my audience seems to be US based. About another 7 to 8% are UK based. I'll tell you who's really growing quite quickly at the moment is India. I'm getting about 67% of my traffic on any one day from India. Australia, Canada, Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia, New Zealand is about 0.3% of my audience. So yeah, it's really a big overseas audience that I get. And in terms of age profile, it's really sort of like the 25 to 34-year-old is kind of like around about 28%. The next group, 35 to 44-year-old, is about 30%. And then the 45 to 54-year-old is probably about another 28%. So it's really that big up in the middle between 25 and 55 seems to be where my core audience lies. Bacconi and GP Fusion, but interested in One R, good for live stream and like all-round 360 cam. Do you know what? As an all-round camera, the One R is great. I think it's fantastic. I think the One R is the fact that Twin Edition means that you have 4K plus the 360. Just remember that the 360 is going to be 5.7K spread over the whole sphere, so you're going to be getting about a 1080p at best resolution when you resolve that and retreat that into kind of like flat screen. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jen. I don't know why it sounded like this today. Everything seems terrible today with my setup. I know the internet was really flaky this morning, so I'm not sure if it's that, and it's just downstreaming everything or to fit it through a very narrow pipe. It's on and off a couple of times, so I don't know. The whole of New Zealand's on kind of on the internet right now. I'm really not sure. So yeah, I'm really sorry. I apologize for the bad sound. Is it good for live stream with the One R? I've never tried the One R on a live stream, and it's something that I've been meaning to do. So I might do a versus, kind of like a live stream, One X2 versus the One R live stream. I think it's a really good idea, so that people can get an idea as to how well these can do it. And I know that they can both be set up as webcams as well, and you can set them up to be just kind of like flat screen, just you, or you can do 360 webcams as well, which is worth bearing in mind if you are in lockdown and that's the sort of thing that you would like to add to your Zoom calls as something a little bit different. L Street, that's not good. I really apologize for the sound of my audio today. I might just turn this off and see what it's like with just my computer audio. That might be better. Or let's just try the Logitech Brio. All right, we'll try that. It's any better. Here's a pain. All the different audio. I can only. So yes, any other questions here? Let's have a look. Bacha, it'd be interesting to see how you deal with the kind of the difference between the GP Fusion and the One R. I think one of the biggest strengths of Insta360, the biggest strength is the software. And how usable it is compared to some of the GoPro software that I've seen and experienced very briefly. I've never had or owned a 360 GoPro camera, but I've kind of fiddled around with them in shops and stuff and in demos. And I never got to use the Fusion, but I did use the GoPro Max for a few hours. And I thought it was a nice camera. It had a nice feel, took good footage, but editing was a pain compared to the Insta360, even the One X. The One X is just, if anything, that for me is the classic 360 great camera. Anything on top of that adds incremental value, and you've got kind of like all the bells and whistles. It's just a shame that you can't get the 1X anymore. If you see one second hand and the lenses are good and you're looking for a 360 camera, you could do a lot worse than picking up an Insta360 1X. Thank you. I won't mess around with external mics anymore. This Logitech Brio's got a mic built in, and I think I'll just stick to that with my live streams. I tried to make it a bit better today, and I think I just ended up making things a lot more complicated. All right, what else is going on? I've opened up channel memberships. No pressure at all. It's just there if people want to kind of like support what it is that's going on with me. I've turned this on. I can turn that back off again. There we go. Super Chat is also available. One of the things that kind of like is a little bit difficult for me at the moment is making it work from a financial point of view. And that's there's no pressure on you at all. I love doing my YouTube videos, but if I can make it work both ways in terms of making it work financially as well as a passion project, that's really where I'm aiming to get. And AdSense revenue gets you so far, but to be honest, I'm lucky if I get a couple of $100 AdSense revenue per month. That's how little I earn from the ads that you might see. And I try to keep the ads down. I don't want it to be like a nuisance experience, but kind of you also need to understand that I need to kind of like have some ads in order to pay some bills. So yeah, that's where I am in terms of like trying to make this work financially as well. And if you're not a creator, you might not realize, although, you know, some people do a lot better when they've got really, really big sort of audiences watching their videos. And of course, that's kind of like where I'm hoping that I'll be. But what I do want to finish off with saying is that when I put that community post up a couple of days ago and the response that I got, it just does make me realize that I love doing this because of the feedback that I get. I love doing this because of conversations that I have. I love doing this because of ideas that you spark for me when you interact and you comment on my videos. So please keep commenting. Don't underestimate how powerful that feedback is for me and how motivating that is for me as well. Because otherwise, you know, I'm sat here in New Zealand, 0.3% of my audience are New Zealanders. It's really you guys that I connect with from overseas, from far away, that really keep me going on this journey. And I want to continue this journey, and I love having you along on this journey with me. So thank you again so much. Right, it's 9:30. I'm probably going to draw it to a close there unless there are any more questions. I'm watching the chat here. Anything else today? I think we're done. Thank you, Dr. McConey, L Street, Snow Dogs Vlogs, and Paul GF, and also Exploring the World. I know you had to go because you had a bad connection, and Fancy NZ as well. They're all the ones that have spoken. There may be more watching. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching. Check out all the other videos on my channel. I'll be live streaming again soon on the other side of the book launch, probably at the beginning of February. Hit me up on chat, on my community post. Lovely to see you. Have a great day. Bye now.